Hello, this is Vice Raja Bisabri, Group 29, final year project, and our project is about a cheap flight ticket machine learning prediction model. Now, to briefly introduce this, one of the most sophisticated industries that use very complex dynamic pricing strategies for their fares is the airline industry. We all know that the airline industry doesn't have fixed prices like for the road transport, which is fixed like from Kampala to Jinja is 10,000. For the airline industries, it's not the same. For the airline industries, from here to Bike, it is 2 million at 2 p.m. It cannot be 2 million. It cannot be 2 million at 2:25 or 2:30 or 5 minutes past. And even it wasn't 2 million before that time. So for them, they use a dynamic way of pricing whereby the prices change. They fluctuate, they either go up or go down depending on the parameters. The parameters these are the features that depict that they rule the pricing of the ticket. Then select the number of seats left. If there are 2 seats left, the price is going to change. If the plane has just landed, the price is different. If where they are going, there are very many restrictions, like in some countries whereby they were calling for COVID test and whatsoever, the prices they are different. They can never be the same. So a ticket price of a particular flight can change up to 10 times a day. Now, airline companies, they use their complex algorithms, like I'd mentioned before. Now, these are the parameters. Now, for example, in the West, in the Europeans, they have seasons winter and summer. And in winter seasons, few people board flights, because we all know that planes cannot move when it is snowing, when there's too much snow. But most of them travel during summer because they have summer breaks. Now, for companies, these airline companies, their algorithms, they have to take marketing procedures in place, financial and various social factors to account for the price of a ticket. So for us, we shall be using machine learning algorithms, in particular linear regression, because of the variable, the price variable, it's dependent. The price always depends on what is given. If the number of seats are less, the price is going to be down. The price is going to be high. Now, for the problem statement, flight prices are hard to guess today. No one right now can even guess. Right now, as I'm speaking, no one can guess the price of a ticket to Dubai. The price that person will have right now, if he or she has ever traveled to Dubai, that's the price that person will have. So it will be an estimation, but you can never be right. You can never be right that that is the same price right now, unless the parameters when you're booking that flight are the same. Then that's when the price can be the same, but the prices can never be the same. So for us, we have some data sets. The data sets have various airlines around Africa. There are to and from Africa, like from South Africa to Canada, or from Canada to Egypt. Those are the data sets, and some data sets are within Africa. Now, the way it works, these gentlemen here, they produce an air ticket price system, and they used some regression methods, and they analyze they analyze their model, because here they use the bagging regression. This bagging regression had an accuracy of 87.59. Now this is some good percentage in accuracy. So for them, they acquired the data like we have, they cleaned their data, and they separated it into feature selections, where the most important features that influence an air ticket data gathering comes. So for them, the features I'm talking about are the internal, external factors. Like I talked about the winter, the seasons, winter, summer, number of seats. So for them, they use the bagging regression, which had an accuracy of 87.59. Now, the next review a problem of market segment level air ticket price system. This gentleman here also, they made a system or a machine learning system that tries to depict the price of an air ticket, and for them they use the random forest regression model. And in particular, when they were analyzing, they used the R squared score. Now these people, they forgot to use other methods. There's the mid-run, then there's the advanced R squared score. Now, for the last script, these ones, they made a research and they published a paper about the same topic, about flight ticket pricing, about the same topic. And their paper, they used the decision tree was more accurate according to the paper that they published, and the models they applied, like the decision tree and bargaining regression, the model that they used to evaluate their results, and the decision tree was better. For such questions, we have to ask ourselves, do flight prices vary with airlines? Is Turkish Airways the same as Emirates? How will the flight prices be affected if they are brought in 2 to 3 days before the departure? So what I'm talking about, will the prices increase or lower? All these research questions, we have to answer them by using the observation method, whereby we shall critically analyze the flight trends in prices. And when the prices go high or down, we should be able to depict and to know what factors have caused the prices to fluctuate. Our main objective right now, it is to model a cheap flight ticket machine learning prediction model given the different parameters, because we are all going to use the same parameters, the number of seats, the number of planes, those are the internal, then the uh, the breaks, the summer breaks, excuse me, the summer breaks for the whites. Is it winter? Is it summer? Is it autumn? And now our data, it is publicly available at cargo platforms. Now for the specific objectives, it's explaining our main objective. We shall do data preparations. We shall have to plan and clean our data. And then afterwards, we shall create our model, train it, test it, and deploy our model in various aircraft companies. Our scope is around Africa, but particularly we shall be in Uganda, though we shall use Africa, East Africa, and Ugandan Airlines. Now, our dataset description, the datasets we got them from an online platform at Cargo, and so far the particular datasets, they're having African flight routes, and these datasets, when we clean them, the parameters we are going to use are the flight, the source city, the departure time, the stops arrival, destination city, the class, the duration. All these are the parameters that we are going to consider when modeling, when after cleaning our data set, then we start modeling and training. Now our research design, we shall go to the field. We shall have to look for the data set. After us getting the data set, we shall have to critically analyze the trend of the flights to get to know when they are increasing or when they are reducing. Then after our data collection, right here on the data sets, when we have acquired our data sets, we shall have to clean them. These data sets, we found that they come with some missing values, some missing columns. There are gaps. So we shall have to clean them by eliminating those columns and by filling in some values in those cells. But we shall have to eliminate the useless ones. Let me say like the type of plane for that particular flight, the flight number. So those ones we shall not consider them. So that's how we shall be cleaning our data. Then we shall use information tools. We shall use Python inbuilt tools and libraries that we shall use to train our data sets. Then we shall develop our model using linear regression. This is our main task. We shall use linear regression, since I already talked about this linear regression, because in linear regression, our variables are linear, the price is linear, and it's easy to develop, and it suits our work very well. And the variable is dependent. The price variable is dependent. Then we shall test our model and deploy it. Now, after us developing our model, We shall use also Python tools, whereby even Python has graphs that we shall use to plot, and we have to get a line of best fit. For testing and accuracy, we shall use the R squared that has been used. We shall use the mean. We shall use the advanced R squared. Then we shall also use the confusion matrices. Now, our system architecture, this is the dynamic pricing. Now, our model has to consider this. This is our model will be built. Our model will have the goal of the ticket to be bought at a lower price, but at the same time, keeping the profits of the airlines as high as possible. So this is the dynamic pricing. So in dynamic pricing, it will be affected by the internal factors and the external factors. Then the internal factors of the airline can be like the number of planes, the seats. Those are the internal factors. And the external factors can be like we had COVID. So all airlines were down. And even our data sets, we were not able to capture the data sets of 2019, 2020, 2021, since some airlines are not, they're not yet up. Like, for example, in China right now, it's still under lockdown because of COVID. And we all know the whole world had the tragedy of COVID in 2020, so there were no planes. So our architecture is around this. Our customer should have his goal of getting the ticket at a lower price, and the airline should have the goal of keeping the profits as high as possible. Now, these are the expected results, and this is the line of best fit, the actual airline prices and the predicted ones. If the actual airline prices, this is 1,000 USD, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and these ones, it's the same as the USD. This line of best fit, it's like if we have predicted that the airline at a particular flight, it's going to cost 1,000 USD, and at that same time, it costs 1,000. Then we shall be right. But it can even happen when we predict that the airline is going to cost 1,000, and then we predict that it's going to cost less than that. So we should be able to get the line of best fit. We shall use these graphs to calculate its accuracy. So our future research direction, this project is heading towards data science, whereby we shall have to get some data, we train it, we test it with different ML algorithms. So our model, after it has been tested and critically analyzed, we shall have we shall deploy it to the different airlines worldwide. In European airlines like Turkish Airways, we shall get their data sets and we implement them in our model, and we see if our model can also depict the same. So these are the references we use, the reference books. These are a few of them. Then we acknowledge and thank Mr. Ule, our supervisor, who has doubtfully helped us a lot. He has corrected our mistakes. He has been humble with us, and we have made this proposal thanks to him. Without him, we couldn't have reached where we are. Thank you very much. Vice Rajabi Sabli is my name.